I think it's time for an overtime period where you
I
hashtag
was like,
speak
I
your
was like, was that
mind.
my mic? I thought you.
Doing
I was
this.
like, hey, what's going on? I started looking around. I was like,
You speak your mind, and sponsored by absolutely no one.
yeah,
And this time, Mo, I'm gonna hit you with question, and it relates to roots. So as well, all of us have parents who aren't native to Canada. So I know you're from the Sudan. That's something that you still hold very dearly. And so I want to ask you what are ways that you ensure that you stay grounded to your roots, and that's something that that you don't lose, and you propel yourself forward in your daily life. What is something that you try to do, or something that holds you down in that sense that keeps you tight knit to your roots in Sudan?
I'm so glad you brought that up actually, because it's something 2 years ago specifically. I'll talk about 2 years ago. Um, what year are we in? We're in 2020. Oh, never mind. Hey, 4 years ago.
Jeez.
Okay.
4 years ago, I was struggling with this a lot because I talked about, hey, I'm from Sudan, this and that, but because of certain situations, I hadn't been able to go back in so long, right? What I realized was that from social media, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I was on Twitter for a while, and I followed a bunch of people from Atlanta, all right, like a bunch of comedians, a bunch of whatever, and I started to see my feed like really revolve around people from Atlanta. So I'm thought to myself, I'm like, social media is a thing everywhere. My cousins use it, my uncles, my aunts, they all use it. So if I really want to be part of that, and keep true to myself, or keep true to my roots, I have to know what's going on. I have to know what the people are saying, not just what the media is putting out, but also just like see what people are tweeting, see what people are saying, see what people are posting. So what I did, I started following a bunch of people from Sudan. I got in contact with a company called Impact Hub. They have a base in like basically every major city in the world. And they opened one in Khartoum last in 2019. I got in contact with them, and they were looking for books or whatever, university books. So I actually contributed. I sent over university books myself without even knowing that that was a thing before that, right?
Mhm.
How did that happen? Is just because I started acting as if I lived there. Like, what would the people that live there, if you following my age, what would what's the entertainment pop? What's the news? Like, all of that, right? So I just really encompass myself in terms of that socially, and then the power of a phone call, man. Like, I think we're so blessed to be able to have so many modes of communication with like the other side of the world in like an instant, and everybody talks about it, but it's like you can utilize that to really, 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 occupy your mind with a completely other place by not even while not even being there. Right.
Mhm.
So I started doing more of that, calling just a bunch of my old friends that now they know English 10 times better because they're older and things like that. You just have to take the step towards actually wanting to do it, and you'll figure it out, right? You don't have to be there on the grounds, on boots on ground, whatever. It's not realistic for a lot of us. I still have a
Mhm.
job and family here, but for you to be able to stay to your roots, is just you gotta figure out, you know, your actual root, and what part of your roots you want to stay close to, right? Like, do you want, I started following specific people from specific areas because that's where my family lives or whatever. Right? Just you have to really, really take your little steps, right? If I never followed that one person, or if I never did that, contacted that page, messaged them, I didn't even know if they were going to answer me, but they answered me like right
Yeah,
away.
that's one
If I
thing
never
too.
did that, I would have never known, right? So I
Yeah.
think it's just taking that first step, and really just making a small step by small step, and you'll find yourself in a position way
Yeah.
better than before.
I even think you took a step further by messaging. Some people just stop at just seeing the page, following the page. Then you're really like showing your true nature by going out against volunteering to give out university books, and that's just comes full circle into coming back to your roots. But Alan, is there something you want to add to that, or something that you relate
Oh, for
to?
sure. I gotta say though, first things first. Whoa, that's pretty amazing, man. That you took that step yourself to try to hold on to that culture and your background, because it can be very easy to like just get consumed by the culture and everything that's happening right now. Like, you could get lost in the type of music that is mainstream for your area, right? you might even get criticized for just listening or practicing your culture in some cases, right? Like it's so easy to, especially in a big city. Like I know London's not that big, but if you were in Toronto, like Montreal, Vancouver, it's easy to get lost. Even though those are really multicultural areas, people are very commonly like assimilated into different things, and I think that luckily for us, we're blessed in the way that like obviously our parents are not from Canada, but we're given that perspective to see that like, dude, we have stuff that maybe we should hold on to a little bit more. And I can take away the fact that yeah, making the effort to try your best to like that, like it's amazing how like on Twitter, on Instagram, or even Facebook, if you start following or listening to certain things, your feed is like even YouTube, like you're gonna get videos associated with that, right? And that's
It's
that's how you build
algorithms.
like you're building blocks towards like keeping your culture. And that's why Mo, I just want to ask like, why do you think it's so easy? And this is probably an easy question. Like, why is it so easy for people to just look away at what their what their culture is? Like, why do
I think
people walk away?
you hit the nail on the head when you spoke about um when you're around a certain thing, culture, or a certain type of people, or indulge in a certain type of thing that you find cool or interesting to you, or just your immediate circle. It's easy. That's the easiest route for you to take, because it's the people you're going to see the most. It's the people you're around. So it's easy to just kind of, I don't think it's bad either way, but it's easy to change yourself, or put on a front, or whatever it is, because they're instantly in front of you. It's harder. It's 10 times harder for you to stay in touch with people back home, or with your things back home, because you being from a different place, it's completely different worlds and things. If we think things are rapid here, imagine trying to take in two worlds, right? Imagine I'm trying to keep up with all the news here, and everything with Ontario and lockdown and everything like that, and then I'm thinking about Khartoum and everything locked down there, and I'm thinking about my uncles, my cousins, and like how the Sudanese health unit is take, or like how their government is taking care of things. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's a lot easier for you to just kind of just be in your own surrounding, and not think that anything really exists
Mm-hmm.
outside of it. And I don't blame anybody for doing it, because not everybody has like either the mental capacity, or the want to go out and find and rediscover or discover their what they want as their culture. But my big thing is like, how am I gonna know what I like most if I don't experience it? How am I gonna
Mm-hmm.
say that I don't want to live in Sudan if I've never lived, like, I haven't lived there as an adult? How am I gonna say that I don't like the culture if I don't know it? Right. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta know, and I can't be a proud Sudanese person if I don't know anything about my place, or I don't know what's going on.
Okay,
I can go off whatever my parents taught me, but they're gonna tell you everything was freaking great, or they're gonna tell you everything was bad, right? The parents are never really always, and they were outdated, right? They lived there back then. It's different. Things are always
different.
changing. As much as
Mm-hmm.
they're changing here, they're changing 10 times faster over there, right? So it's easy for you to stay away, because you could just not care. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
I like how
something.
Okay,
like
what do
how
you
you
think?
said that. Yeah, like it's easy because it's kind of crazy to me, because especially when you're an immigrant coming in, when your parents are immigrant, you have family outside that like blood relatives that are tight to you. It's like you literally have access to two lives, and some people don't have access to like that side of the brain because they're just not born into it. And it's like growing up, you it really changes your outlook on the way things work, because you understand, like, because like your life kind of forces you to have to make those connections. I'm here, I'm different, I'm eat this food differently, but it makes me me. And that, and being close to your roots definitely gives you that boost and that pride to keep going and wanting to know more, because no one's going to understand it unless you take that first step. And I think it's important for all of us to ensure that it's not lost, because that's one of the greatest things. I think humanity, you see how every culture has like pride in themselves, so that pride should not be lost just because you're in a different country and different continent or whatever. I think you need to understand what made you you, why you're you, and you got to experience it to know.
So well put. And
Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that.
yeah,
That Sorry. Can I add one thing? One
Yeah.
last thing. Okay.
oh, floor is yours, man.
I think sorry. I think one of the I think the hardest stage for any immigrant that's come here before high school is high school. I think it's so, man, it's just at least for me, I came here in grade 4 or 5, right? So whatever, I was cool with everybody, I knew everybody, and my English was great. Everything was fine. But is like, I think high school is when I really started to take a liking to, like, Sudanese culture, and I just wanted something that was, true to me. I really do care. I love, man. I can go on about that. I have long-term goals for that place in wanting to help. Um, but when I one day I came to school in like a dashiki, like a full setup, just because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And it wasn't more like the getting made fun of thing, but it's just like you can see that everybody's like, yo, hey, what are you doing? Like, why you like this? Like, and it wasn't a very inquisitive question. It wasn't like I'm inquiring. It was like I'm telling you you're different. Like,
Yeah.
There you go.
you don't look
There you
right.
go. Saying yeah. Okay.
You see what I mean? And I think that's why it's so tough in high school, because if you're not confident in yourself, I'll always thank God. I've always had this dumb confidence in myself. Like, it might have been, it's detrimental sometimes, but it's also very helpful at times. And it was helpful during those, because I don't give a damn. Like, I'm not one that's gonna care if you are gonna judge me or not, because I know that if I make my decision to be this person, I made it for a reason, right? I have a deeper reasoning than just, hey, I want to be this person because I want to be different from everybody else. No, I have a specific reason. Whether you know it or not, that doesn't matter, right? I think it's all about the person's mission and their journey, their personal journey themselves.
That's what I'm saying. So what we're saying is keep eating the foods that your parents have been feeding you. I'm gonna keep eating fufu. Mo, what do you keep eating? What are you gonna keep eating?
Mulah.
Alan, what are you gonna keep eating?
Yo, I'm cooking for every culture, man. So I'll cook one from Congo or Sudan, man. You guys, yo, I'll set the table for you guys. You guys are coming. I'm feeding you.
Let's go. Love. Okay, well, I feel like we've been going at it for a while, and I think we could keep going for much longer. But for tonight or for today, let's cut it here. Mo, once again, thank you for your time. Some very introspective questions that you've answered for us that we can take points to and learn from, because life is a learning experience, and it's all about taking it a day by day. So appreciate you for that. And although a little bit of some sour business with Cam, we'll take it. We'll take it to the bank.
I'm appreciative of you guys. Honestly, I love this platform. It's super cool. You guys are two stand-up guys. I could literally listen to you guys all day, honest to God. So appreciative of giving me the platform, and I'm hoping we can have some Cam arguments in the future. With a specific someone in this group.
Well, Blaska, you summed it up so nicely. I gotta say, thank you for everything. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your experience. We're gonna take this is why we're doing it, Mo. Like, these conversations are helping us to grow as people, to learn more, and I really appreciate getting the opportunity to knock on the door of someone and they open up their world, because there's so much stuff we could learn from either your volunteering experience, from your roots, like just coming to Canada, your experiences in high school, and even about how you like Cam Newton for some reason. And we'll pick up, we'll pick up these conversations at another time, because it'd be awesome to have you again. And like, thanks again. Thank you to all the listeners. Blaska.
Let's get out of here, man. All right.
Let's get out of here.
We're never leaving. All right. This bump.
Love.